ever more the administration and family of the administration becoming intertwined with crypto.
Yeah, that's right, Caroline. Obviously, this is the latest of several Trump family projects in the crypto space, World Liberty Financial being sort of the most high profile, a so-called DeFi platform launched by Trump and members of his circle. This was new news this morning that we did not know was coming, but Eric Trump and Donald Trump Jr. are investors in a company that is basically forming a joint venture with Hut 8. Hut 8 will be the majority owner of it, 80%. They are transferring all of their Bitcoin mining rigs to this new subsidiary, and it will be called American Bitcoin. Now, remember, on the campaign trail, President Trump made this promise that he wanted all Bitcoin to be mined in the USA, which a lot of people in the industry were skeptical that he'd actually be able to fulfill that promise just because of the decentralized global nature of Bitcoin. And we haven't heard much from the president himself about how he plans to follow through on that plan. But we do know now that the Trump sons are a part of this this operation, this joint venture with Hut 8 to mine Bitcoin in America.
And once again, it's all about Bitcoin. And you've been writing some great stories across your team about what's up with Ethereum at the moment, which is the #2 player still, but DeFi just not translating in the way many had thought.
Yeah, it's a really interesting story, Caroline. I mean, Ethereum had so much promise, so much potential years ago. I think if you look at it from its basic sense, there's sort of competition on both sides for Ethereum that is pretty fierce. So above it, if you're just an investor who just wants exposure to cryptocurrency, Bitcoin has really proven to be the token of choice for that. And I think a big part of the reason why is because of that famously limited supply of Bitcoin. There will only ever be 21 million Bitcoin in existence. Ethereum, on the other end, doesn't have a cap on how many Ethereum tokens will be issued. And there are already about 6 times as many Ethereum tokens out there. So from an investor standpoint, it's clear that people looking for long-term exposure to the growth in prices of crypto are sticking with Bitcoin, and the ETF flows have been really off the charts for Bitcoin and not so much for Ethereum. But then below Ethereum, the other competition on that sort of DeFi space is Solana. Ethereum's great innovation was that you could trade a lot more than just the Ether tokens. Bitcoin exists, that blockchain exists basically just to trade Bitcoin. Ethereum opened up the world to the possibilities of NFTs and these other smart contracts that could be traded on crypto blockchains. Now, you can roll your eyes on NFTs, but for Wall Street that's hungry to tokenize real-world assets, that was sort of the proof case of how that could be done. But the problem now is Solana is just doing it at a cheaper, faster transaction speed and is really providing stiff competition for Ethereum.